Hey everyone, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Emma.
So are you ready to explore some amazing places?
You bet.
We're about to embark on a journey through the top 25 U.S. destinations.
It's like a sneak peek into the future of travel in 2025.
Exactly. We're talking about destinations that are going to blow you away.
Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just starting to plan your next adventure.
For sure. So first up, we're heading to a place known for its stunning beauty.
And crystal clear waters.
You got it, Lake Tahoe. Not just a pretty face, though.
No, it's not.
Did you know that Lake Tahoe is so deep,
So incredibly deep.
it could practically swallow a skyscraper?
Wow.
We're talking over 1,600 feet deep.
That is deep.
And it's not just deep.
It's also incredibly clear.
Right, you can see down over 70 feet in some spots.
Yeah, and you've got those smooth granite rocks peeking out of the water,
Oh, yeah.
sculpted by glaciers over thousands of years.
Talk about a history lesson. Okay, picture this. It's a warm July afternoon and you're lounging on Sand Harbor Beach.
Oh, that sounds nice.
The sun is shining, the water is sparkling.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by stunning views of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Sounds like a dream.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
It does, but if you're thinking of taking a dip in May,
Uh-oh.
be prepared for a bit of a shock.
Oh, no.
The water is still pretty chilly then.
Gotcha.
July and August are the prime months for swimming, boating, and just about any water activity you can imagine.
For sure. Speaking of jaw-dropping views, our next stop is Yosemite National Park.
Yosemite.
This place is like a greatest hits collection of natural wonders.
Oh, tell me about it.
Massive granite cliffs, giant sequoia trees, cascading waterfalls.
You can't talk about Yosemite without mentioning Half Dome, right?
Oh, for sure.
This iconic rock formation rises over 5,000 feet above the valley floor.
It's incredible.
One side is a sheer cliff, and the other side is this perfectly smooth dome.
I know it.
It's a sight that'll have you reaching for your camera.
Absolutely.
And wondering how on earth nature created something so amazing.
It's mind-blowing. And if you think Half Dome is impressive, wait till you see Yosemite Falls.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the tallest waterfalls in the world, dropping over 2,425 feet in 3 tiers.
Wow.
It's not just a pretty sight either. This waterfall is a reminder of the power of glaciers, which carved out this entire landscape.
You know, here's something you might not know.
What's that?
Yosemite Falls can actually disappear completely in dry years.
What?
That's right. The water flow can decrease so much that the falls literally vanish.
Oh, talk about a disappearing act.
Don't worry, it always comes back. It's a cycle that's been going on for centuries.
That's amazing. From towering waterfalls, we're heading to winding coastal roads and dramatic ocean views.
All right, I'm ready.
Next stop, Big Sur, California.
Big Sur.
This stretch of the Pacific Coast Highway is legendary for its beauty, with rugged cliffs plunging into the turquoise Pacific
I can picture it.
and redwood forests clinging to the hillsides.
It's beautiful. And let's not forget about Bixby Creek Bridge.
Oh, right.
This iconic bridge is one of the most photographed spots on the entire California coast.
For sure.
It's not hard to see why that graceful arch spanning a deep gorge with the ocean crashing against the rocks below. It's an engineering marvel and a visual masterpiece all rolled into one.
Absolutely. And Big Sur isn't just about scenic drives. It's also home to McWay Falls,
Oh yeah, McWay Falls.
an 80-foot waterfall that plunges directly onto the beach below.
Right onto the beach.
It's like something straight out of a movie.
Yeah.
But here's a twist.
Oh,
The beach is inaccessible,
really?
so you can only admire this natural wonder from afar.
Oh, that's too bad. If you're looking for a different kind of spectacle, make sure to check out the Elephant Seal Vista Point.
Oh, yeah. The elephant seals?
Thousands of elephant seals gather on this beach, especially during breeding season. And let me tell you, these creatures are not exactly graceful.
I know you
They're
don't.
huge.
Allowed.
And they definitely don't care about personal space.
Nope. Imagine a beach party where the guests are all giant, blubbering elephant seals.
Oh my goodness.
It's not your typical beach scene, but it's definitely entertaining.
I bet. From the dramatic coastline of Big Sur, let's journey inland to a landscape of giants, the California redwoods.
The redwoods.
These majestic trees are the tallest living things on Earth, with some reaching heights of over 379 feet.
That's taller than the Statue of Liberty.
It is.
Walking among these giants is a humbling experience.
Sure it is.
The sunlight filtering through the branches. The silence broken only by the rustling of leaves.
Yeah,
It's like stepping into a cathedral of nature.
it really is. It's also a reminder of the incredible resilience of nature. Some redwoods have trunks so massive that you could drive a car through them.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Next up, we're heading north to the Oregon coast.
All right, the Oregon coast.
This state has a unique blend of rugged coastline, lush forests, and towering mountains, all packed into a relatively small area.
I love Oregon.
It's a nature lover's paradise.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a scenic drive, the 101 Coastal Highway is the way to go.
The 101.
You'll wind your way along the coast, passing through charming towns, hidden beaches, and dramatic viewpoints.
One of my favorite spots is Meyer Beach.
Meyer Beach.
This is a bit off the beaten path.
Okay.
But that's part of its charm. You've got these massive rocks scattered along the beach, creating these little tide pools and hidden coves.
Awesome.
It's a perfect place to explore and just enjoy the peace and quiet.
And for a dose of classic Oregon coast beauty, make sure to check out the Samuel H. Boardman Scenic Corridor. This 12-mile stretch of coastline is a photographer's dream,
Oh, wow.
with jagged cliffs, secluded coves, and stunning ocean views.
And of course, no trip to the Oregon coast is complete without a visit to Cannon Beach, home to the iconic Haystack Rock. This 235-foot sea stack, rising from the ocean, is instantly recognizable.
Oh,
And even appeared in Spielberg's The Goonies.
I remember that.
It's not just a pretty face either. Haystack Rock is a haven for marine life, with tide pools teeming with sea stars, anemones, and other creatures.
From the rugged beauty of the Oregon coast, let's jump to the vibrant energy of Seattle, a city that seamlessly blends urban life with natural wonders. You've got the bustling downtown area with its iconic Space Needle and Pike Place Market.
I love Pike Place Market.
And then just beyond the city limits, you've got mountains, forests, and islands waiting to be explored.
It's a great city. Seattle is a city that's full of surprises. You can be sipping a latte at a trendy cafe one minute and hiking through a rainforest the next.
And speaking of surprises, Pike Place Market is a must visit. It's not just a market, it's an experience. You've got fresh produce, seafood, flowers, street performers,
Right.
and those famous fishmongers who throw fish through the air.
I know, it's crazy.
It's a sensory overload in the best possible way.
Oh, and don't forget to check out the infamous Pike Place gum wall. The gum, it's a wall covered in well gum.
Oh, right. I've heard of that.
It's definitely one of the more unique landmarks you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's for sure. From the bustling city life of Seattle, let's head north to the vast wilderness of Alaska.
Alaska.
This is a place that will truly take your breath away.
Alaska is all about epic landscapes and adventure. We're talking towering mountains, glaciers that stretch for miles, and wildlife you won't see anywhere else. It's a place where you can truly disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and immerse yourself in nature.
And getting to those remote areas is an adventure in itself. You might find yourself hopping on a bush plane, navigating unpredictable weather, and packing for extreme conditions.
I know.
It's not your average vacation planning.
But that's all part of the appeal, right?
Yeah.
Alaska challenges you, pushes you outside your comfort zone, and rewards you with experiences that will stay with you forever.
Now let's trade the glaciers for sandy beaches and head to the island paradise of Oahu.
Oahu.
This is your favorite Hawaiian island, right?
It is, and for a good reason. I lived on the North Shore for 8 months, and it was honestly one of the best times of my life. Oahu has this incredible energy, this mix of laid-back island vibes and exciting urban adventures. Plus, the beaches are absolutely stunning.
Waikiki Beach is the iconic image of Hawaii, with its high-rise hotels and shops lining the shore and surfers catching waves right in the heart of it all. It's a place where you can truly experience the energy of Hawaii.
But if you're looking for world-class surfing, you have to head to the North Shore.
The North Shore.
This legendary stretch of coastline is home to some of the most famous and challenging surf breaks in the world.
Including the Banzai Pipeline.
Oh, the Banzai Pipeline.
This reef break produces these massive hollow waves that are both mesmerizing and terrifying to watch.
They're huge.
During the winter months, the waves can reach over 20 feet high.
It's crazy.
It's a spectacle that draws surfers and spectators from all over the world.
But even if you're not a surfer, the North Shore is worth a visit. The beaches are beautiful, the water is crystal clear, and the laid-back atmosphere is contagious.
From the energy of Oahu, we're heading to the oldest of the main Hawaiian islands, Kauai.
Kauai.
This island is known as the Garden Island for a reason. It's incredibly lush and green with rainforests, waterfalls, and dramatic sea cliffs.
Kauai is all about natural beauty and tranquility. It's the perfect place to escape the crowds and reconnect with nature.
And the Na Pali coast is the crown jewel of Kauai's beauty. These dramatic sea cliffs rise thousands of feet from the ocean, carved by centuries of wind and waves.
It's incredible.
You can experience them from above, on a helicopter tour, from the water on a boat tour, or even on foot if you're up for a challenging hike.
The Kalal Trail is a legendary 11-mile hike that takes you along the Nepali coast, through valleys past waterfalls, and to some of the most secluded beaches you'll ever see.
Wow.
It's definitely a bucket list hike, but be prepared. It's not for the faint of heart.
And speaking of impressive canyons, we can't forget about Waimea Canyon, often called the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Waimea Canyon is amazing.
It's over 10 miles long and 3,000 feet deep, with these incredible layers of red rock contrasted against the lush tropical vegetation. From the natural wonders of Hawaii, let's take a sharp turn to the urban jungle of New York City.
New York City.
This city never sleeps, and it's an experience unlike any other. It's a melting pot of cultures, a center of art and fashion, and a place where dreams are made and sometimes broken.
I lived in New York for a few months, and it's amazing how quickly you adapt to the fast-paced lifestyle. You're constantly on the go, but there's an energy and excitement that's contagious.
One of the best ways to experience the city is by walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. This iconic landmark connects Brooklyn and Manhattan, and the views from the bridge are simply breathtaking. You can see the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, and the entire skyline spread out before you.
And don't forget to check out Times Square.
Times Square.
It's a sensory overload of lights, billboards, and people from all over the world. It's definitely a must-see, even if it's just to say you've been there.
But if you're looking for a break from the hustle and bustle, Central Park is your oasis. It's a green space right in the heart of Manhattan with beautiful bridges, winding paths, and plenty of space to relax and recharge.
From the concrete jungle of New York City, we're heading north to the historical charm of New England.
New England.
This region is steeped in history, with charming towns, picturesque coastlines, and a unique blend of American traditions and cultural influences.
New England played a pivotal role in the shaping of America, from the arrival of the Pilgrims in 1620 to the birth of the Revolutionary War. It's a region where you can truly feel the weight of history.
And Boston is a great place to start your New England adventure. It's one of the oldest cities in the U.S., and it's packed with historical landmarks, museums, and charming neighborhoods.
Make sure to check out the Freedom Trail, a 2.5-mile walking tour that takes you past some of Boston's most iconic historical sites, including the Boston Common Faneuil Hall and the Old North Church.
And while you're in New England, make sure to experience the fall foliage.
Well, fall foliage.
It's a sight that will take your breath away, with rolling hills covered in a patchwork of reds, oranges, and yellows.
Vermont is particularly stunning during the fall.
Vermont is beautiful.
But really, anywhere you go in New England, you're bound to be impressed by the vibrant colors.
Another one of my favorite New England states is Maine, the northeastern state in the U.S.
Maine.
It's known for its rugged coastline, charming fishing villages, and, of course, delicious lobster.
Portland, Maine's largest city, is a great place to experience the state's coastal charm. It's home to a historic old port district, a bustling harbor, and plenty of great restaurants and shops.
And while you're in Portland, make sure to visit the Portland Headlight. This iconic lighthouse is the oldest in Maine, built in 1791. It's a beautiful reminder of the state's maritime history.
And for a dose of natural beauty, head to Acadia National Park, located mostly on Mount Desert Island. It's one of the most popular national parks on the East Coast. From the rocky shores of Maine, let's head south to the tropical paradise of the Florida Keys.
The Florida Keys.
This coral archipelago stretches for about 120 miles south of Florida, and it's basically one giant beach party.
The Florida Keys are like the American version of the Bahamas. You've got crystal clear turquoise waters, swaying palm trees, and a laid-back vibe that's perfect for a relaxing getaway.
And the best part is you can drive the entire length of the Keys on the Overseas Highway, a series of bridges that connect the islands and offer breathtaking views of the Caribbean Sea.
One of the most impressive bridges is the 7-Mile Bridge, which, as the name suggests, stretches for 7 miles over the ocean.
Wow.
It's an engineering marvel, and it's quite a feeling to be driving over the open ocean like that.
And at the very end of the Overseas Highway, you'll find Key West, the southernmost point in the continental U.S.
Key West is a lot of fun.
Key West is known for its colorful architecture, lively nightlife, and stunning sunsets.
Make sure to visit Mallory Square for the nightly sunset celebration. It's a tradition that draws locals and tourists alike, and it's a great way to end a day in paradise.
From the tropical paradise of the Keys, we're heading back to the mainland and venturing into the heart of Wyoming to explore the geothermal wonders of Yellowstone National Park.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is a place unlike any other on Earth. It's a giant caldera, which is basically a collapsed volcano.
Yeah.
And it's still geothermally active with geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and all sorts of otherworldly features.
It's incredible. One of the most iconic sites in Yellowstone is the Grand Prismatic Spring, the third largest hot spring in the world.
The Grand Prismatic Spring.
It's known for its vibrant colors, which are created by different types of bacteria that thrive in the hot water.
It's beautiful.
It's like a giant rainbow in the ground.
And speaking of sites that will leave you speechless, Old Faithful is a must-see.
Old Faithful.
This geyser erupts every 90 minutes or so, shooting boiling water up to 185 feet into the air.
It's a natural spectacle that never gets old.
And while you're in Yellowstone, make sure to check out the Upper Falls. This powerful waterfall plunges 109 feet into the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, a 20-mile-long canyon that was carved by the Yellowstone River over thousands of years.
The Upper Falls are a reminder of the raw power of nature, and they're a sight you won't soon forget.
And for something a little more serene, head to Mammoth Hot Springs early in the morning.
Mammoth Hot Springs.
You can see the mist rising off of the terraces
Oh, wow.
with the sunlight hitting it.
I can only imagine.
It's just magical.
That does sound pretty special. And speaking of art, let's move on to Grand Teton National Park, another Wyoming gem that's a masterpiece of nature.
The Grand Tetons.
The Grand Tetons are a mountain range that rises dramatically from the valley floor, creating a landscape of unparalleled beauty. They're so jagged and rugged, it's almost as if they were sculpted by a giant hand.
It's an incredible sight.
I absolutely love this park.
It's beautiful.
The jagged peaks of the Tetons, the crystal clear lakes, the lush forests.
Yeah.
It's all just so stunning. It's the kind of place that makes you want to grab your hiking boots and just get lost in the wilderness.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a more relaxed experience, take the ferry across Jenny Lake and enjoy a short hike to Hidden Falls.
Hidden Falls.
It's a great way to experience the park's beauty without breaking too much of a sweat.
From the towering peaks of the Tetons,
Uh-huh.
we're heading to a landscape that's a little more unexpected. The St. Anthony Sand Dunes in Idaho.
The St. Anthony Sand Dunes.
Who knew Idaho had a desert?
Right. It's like this hidden gem that most people don't even know exists.
It really is.
Imagine 10,000 acres of towering sand dunes, some reaching 400 feet high, right next to farmland.
It's crazy. It's a surreal contrast. And it makes you feel like you've stepped onto another planet.
I bet. Have you ever been to the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah? Oh, the Bonneville Salt Flats.
It's just incredible.
Oh.
Imagine 30,000 acres of perfectly flat, salt-crusted earth.
I can picture it. It's so vast and white.
Almost blinding.
You've got the mountains ringing the horizon and then this endless expanse of white stretching out in front of you.
I know. It's no wonder they filmed so many movies and music videos there.
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
like a giant blank canvas for anything you can imagine.
Right.
And because it's so flat, it's also the perfect place to test speed.
Like how fast you can go.
Exactly. The world's fastest land speed record was set right there on the Bonneville Salt Flats. Now, here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
When it rains, the salt flats transform into the world's largest mirror.
Really?
It's true. The rainwater sits on top of the salt, creating a perfectly reflective surface.
Wow.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
I've got to see that.
You do. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Okay.
That's officially going on my bucket list right alongside Shiprock in New Mexico. Talk about a rock formation that'll make you do a double take. It's a volcanic neck, which is basically the hardened core of an ancient volcano that's been exposed by erosion.
Wow.
It rises over 1,500 feet above the surrounding desert, and it has these three distinctive volcanic spines that come together at the top. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
It sounds pretty unique.
And it's a sacred site to the Navajo people. They call it, say, Bitai, which means the winged rock or the rock with wings. Okay, let's switch gears from natural wonders to a man-made marvel.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Lake Powell?
Lake Powell.
It's such a unique place. It's not a natural lake. It's actually a reservoir that was created when they built the Glen Canyon Dam on the Colorado River.
Right.
It's massive,
Oh,
too.
yeah, it's huge.
It stretches for over 186 miles
Mhm.
and has almost 2,000 miles of shoreline.
They call it America's Lost National Park
I've heard that.
because it's filled with these incredible canyons, cliffs, and rock formations that were once part of Glen Canyon.
It's like a hidden world just waiting to be explored.
Exactly.
People love renting houseboats and spending weeks cruising around the lake exploring all the hidden coves and inlets.
Sounds relaxing.
It's a paradise for water sports enthusiasts, too.
Oh.
Boating, fishing, swimming, water skiing, you name it.
Wow.
And if you're feeling adventurous, there's some pretty epic cliff jumping spots. While you're in the area, you can't miss Horseshoe Bend and Antelope Canyon. They're both just a short drive from Lake Powell.
I've heard of those.
Horseshoe Bend is this perfect horseshoe-shaped curve in the Colorado River, surrounded by these towering sandstone cliffs.
Sounds beautiful.
It's a photographer's dream.
I bet.
The best views are from the rim, where you can really appreciate the scale of it all.
Yeah.
You're basically standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at this deep, emerald green river carving its way through the rock. And Antelope Canyon is another must-see.
Antelope Canyon.
It's a slot canyon, which means it's incredibly narrow,
Uh-huh.
with smooth, sculpted walls that were carved out by flash floods over millions of years.
It's amazing how nature can do that.
The way the sunlight filters through the canyon walls, creating these beams of light that illuminate the swirling patterns in the rock, it's just magical. It's like walking through a work of art.
I've seen pictures.
It's incredible. You definitely need to book a tour to visit Antelope Canyon, though, as it's on Navajo land.
Good to know. And for a final stop on our whirlwind U.S. tour, let's head to a national park that truly defies description, Zion National Park.
Zion National Park.
Zion is a place that will leave you speechless.
Oh, it is.
It's like stepping into a painting with towering red rock cliffs, emerald pools hidden in narrow canyons, and lush hanging gardens clinging to the rock faces.
It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
It's a hiker's paradise, with trails for every skill level.
For sure.
You can choose a leisurely stroll along the Virgin River, a challenging climb to a panoramic viewpoint, or something in between.
And if you're looking for a hike that will test your limits, both physically and mentally, Angel's Landing is the one.
Angel's Landing.
Angel's Landing is a 5-mile round-trip hike that takes you to the top of a rock formation that juts out dramatically from the canyon wall. The last part of the hike is pretty intense, with steep drop-offs on either side and chains bolted into the rock to help you along.
That sounds a little scary.
It can be. Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. But the views from the top are absolutely worth it. You can see the entire canyon spread out before you, with the Virgin River winding its way through the valley floor. It's a sight that will stay with you forever.
I've seen pictures, but I can only imagine how incredible it must be to experience it in person.
You really have to see it to believe it.
Yeah,
It's one of those places that makes you feel small and insignificant in the best way possible.
I can see that.
It puts things in perspective.
Absolutely. It reminds you of the power and beauty of nature.
We've covered some amazing places,
We sure have.
from towering redwoods and serene deserts to bustling cityscapes and tropical islands.
It's been quite the adventure.
It has, but you know what?
Yeah,
We've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right? The U.S. is a country of incredible diversity with something for everyone.
Absolutely, whether you're an adrenaline junkie,
Yeah.
a history buff, a
Yeah.
nature lover,
Or just looking for a relaxing getaway.
you're bound to find a place that speaks to you.
So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, get out there and explore.
Discover your own hidden gems.
We've given you some ideas.
But the real adventure begins when you start planning your own trip.
Exactly, and while you're at it,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you.
Tell us.
What are some of your favorite U.S. destinations?
What places are on your travel bucket list?
Let us know in the comments below.
We love hearing from our viewers.
And your suggestions might even inspire our next adventure.
Who knows?
And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel
Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming explorations.
Hit that notification bell too.
So you'll be alerted whenever we post a new video.
And if you enjoyed this episode,
Give it a thumbs up.
and share it with your friends.
Let's spread the travel bug.
Happy travels, everyone.